to Van Wert.
Should be live now.
Good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And Martini will reach on that pass ball. So now the runner in scoring position 2 away. It's 2-0 now here to Van Wert. With Shesky on deck here for Pacelli. Calling his 2-0 pitch. He's going to go 3-0 now. Ground over short. And making the play there. So Van Wert retired on a 6-3 ground out for out number 3. No runs, no hits. A runner left down here. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 2. Pacelli out front here, 5-0. Here you're listening to and watching high school girls softball action here today on Gillespie Sports, brought to you today in part from the Mont Favor Real Estate Group.
So we are live now.
Good.
Currently, we don't have. I'm trying to get our scoreboard figured out. But we are live. We don't have commercials on at the moment.
Okay.
If I can figure them out, I will let you know.
I'll just keep doing business as usual then. Like I normally would, right?
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks here to the Rock and Roll Cafe. Find a great variety of breakfast options at the Rock and Roll Cafe. Breakfast, lunch, Friday fish fry, and service with a smile. Open daily for breakfast and lunch only on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. Again, that is the Rock and Roll Cafe here. So Blackhawks go 4, 5, and 6 here. That's Brianna Ingram, Emery Heckendorf, and Evie Fletcher here coming up here in their half of inning number 2 out here at Ripple Creek Park. Wind starting to pick up a little bit, blowing looks like maybe a little right to left perhaps. Martini with those 3 strikeouts back in inning number 1 here, and that 2-run blast as well. So bunt being shown, and the called strike. It's 0-1 now to Ingram. So when these two teams met last year, the first game, Pacelli with a 20-0 victory in their first meeting. A swing and a miss, so it's quickly 0-2 now to Ingram. And then a 16-0 win in their second matchup. As we mentioned, the last 3 seasons, winning Division 5 back in 2023 and 2024, and then of course then they moved up a Division 4, fell 1-0 to Michigan last year. The tale of pitching there. So of course Pacelli lost some pretty formidable seniors in the likes of Katie Ilka, Kelsey Giese, Peyton Mansell, Kaylin Yenter. But you know, as Coach Molsky would probably tell you, you continue to replenish the cupboard here, and they've done such a nice job at that. So 2-2 now to Ingram. And a swing and a miss, and the first strikeout here, 4th of the game here for Martini. So Ingram down on strikes here. That'll bring up the second baseman here today, and Emery Heckendorf. So Amelia, as we mentioned here earlier today, was the co-player of the year. Both her and Peyton Mansell, unanimous first team picks last season. And a swing and a miss to Heckendorf. So it's 0-1 now. And that one in there for a called strike. Catches the inside part of the plate. It's 0-2 now to Heckendorf. One away here, bottom half, inning number 2. Pacelli out front here, 5-0. The 0-2 offering here from Martini to Heckendorf. That one's going to miss a little low. It's going to go now to 1-2. So the catcher, Evie Fletcher, the on-deck hitter here for Port Edwards. And Heckendorf able to battle and foul that one off. It remains 1-2 now. So Amelia working here with one away, the 1-2 offering here. And Heckendorf able to get a piece of that to stay alive here. Remains 1-2. I want to give thanks here tonight to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Buy 3 and get 1 free tire sale is now on at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. That's buy 3 tires and get 1 free. Find your location at SherrillTire.com. Martini's 1-2 offering. That one misses upstairs. It's even at 2-2 now. That one will miss inside. It goes full now. So Martini with 4 strikeouts here through an inning of a third of work here thus far. That one fouled away, so Heckendorf staying alive. And a swing and a miss, and down on strikes is Heckendorf. So 2 away now here, and that'll bring up the number 6 hitter here and catcher, Evie Fletcher. And a swing and a miss. It's 0-1 now to Fletcher. Amelia doing a nice job, really, I would say, and from this vantage point, Ryan, I mean, just mixing her pitches here. Healthy dose of fastball, but working both sides of the plate. That one misses inside, and it's going to go 1-1 now to Fletcher. The 1-1 pitch from Martini to Fletcher. And that one in there for a called strike, and it's 1-2 now. So Martini doing a nice job, too, of getting ahead in the count here. And a swing and a miss, and down on strikes for the third out here. So a 3-up, 3-down inning, 6 strikeouts here thus far. 2 innings are in the books here. Pacelli out front here, 5-0. Top half of inning number 3 coming up here in just one moment. You're listening to and watching high school girls basketball, or baseball, softball action, that is. Get a little confused sometimes, Ryan. We do a little bit of everything here, but bringing it right back here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you today by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back here. Salt on the roads wreaking havoc on your vehicle. We'll stop at Tommy's Express Car Wash. Not only does salt make your car look nasty, it can cause damage to your vehicle. Keep it clean with the help of Tommy Club membership. That's unlimited washes for one low monthly price. Weston, Wausau, Plover, and Stevens Point. Download the app today for 1 month free. Free vacuums, free automatic mat washers, and all in less than 2 minutes here. So 5-0 our score here on our Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here. Pacelli out front here, 5-0. Top half inning number 3 here. And you've got 6, 7, and 8 coming up here. Haley Krzyzewski to lead things off. She is 1 for 1 here today with a run scored. Doubled back in the first and scored that run. Again, a 5-0 advantage here. Conan out for her second inning of work. That one's going to miss down, and it's 1-0 now to Krzyzewski. So Pacelli strikes with those 5 runs in their half of inning number 1. Drive in a run with that. So the RBI 6-3 ground out back in the first. Drive in a run with that. So the RBI 6-3 ground out back in the first. So 5-0 your score here on our Nasonville Dairy scoreboard. That one lifted into the air. Playable. And first out recorded, so Zdroik the F6 here for the first out. So 1 away now here for Vivian Berna, who reached on an error back in the first, an E5. Again, 5-0 your score, top half inning number 3. That one hit down the line and foul for Berna. It's going to move things to 0-1 now here. Jenna Hinker on deck here for Pacelli. Pacelli with those 5 runs, 5 hits here thus far. He started with 4 hits and 5 runs back in the first. And then no hits, no runs back in the second. That one hit over to short and fielding it to get the 4 sets second there. So 2 away here. Jenna Hinker, that one is going to miss here, but you've got Berna who reaches on the fielder's choice. So 5-0 here. And that's going to be down for a base hit. So Hinker with a 2-out single here. Back to the top of the order here with a couple of runners on here now, and Ella Tess coming back up here. She is 0 for 2 here today, lined to second back in the first. And then grounded back in the 1-3. She'll generate the hit by pitch there, will Tess. So the hit by pitch here now, you've got Jaden Zdroik coming up here, 1 for 2 here today. That one driven out to center. And that one going to be caught near the warning track here. So the F8 for the 3rd out. So Pacelli comes up with a hit, no runs. 3 left on here. We will move to the bottom half of inning number 3, where the Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals out front here, 5-0. Bottom 3 coming up here in just 1 moment here on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Haw Favor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back. Want to give thanks here today to Infinity Exteriors. Infinity Exteriors installing peace of mind, roofing, siding, and windows built to last, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. We guarantee quality that you can trust, and only at Infinity Exteriors here. So 7, 8, 9 coming up here for the Blackhawks. That's Brooke Altman here. So Martini has gone through 2 innings of work here, and her third inning of work here has the 5-0 lead with 6 punch-outs here thus far. That one going to get fouled and out of play here, so count will go 1-1 now to Altman. So 1-1 here to Altman. And that one's going to miss. It's going to go now to 2-1 to Brooke. 5-0 your score here, bottom half of inning number 3. Pacelli getting all 5 of those runs in their half of the first. Capped off by a 2-run blast from Amelia Martini. That one fouled away. It's 2-2. Pacelli, they'll be in action. They'll be idle now until next Monday. They'll be home with Wild Rose. And then the Blackhawks will be home here again Thursday, where they will host the Eagles of Almond Bancroft. That one fouled away. Count remains even at 2-2. You know, and you have to think that that Almond Bancroft team also going to be a very formidable team in this conference, Ryan. Obviously, you've got Pacelli and Almond Bancroft. So it's 2-2 here now. 5-0 again, your score here on the Nasonville Dairy scoreboard. Martini working here with nobody out here. Bottom half of inning number 3. So count's going to go full now. The 3-2 pitch here to Altman. And that one, Brooke able to get a piece of that one. Count remains full. So Amelia now with, as we mentioned here, 6 strikeouts, trying to add to that. Coming off a co-player of the year honors from last season. And a called strike, and that's the 7th punch out here for Martini. She has been sailing along. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter now, and Kira Konen. Her first at bat here today. Martini working the pitch. That one's going to miss upstairs. It's 1-0. Kaylin Green, the on-deck hitter, Ella Van Order, out to say a few words here with her senior battery mate. Want to give thanks here today to Nicolay Bank. Nicolay Bank offers personal banking at its best, with locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill. Or learn more at nicolaybank.com. Again, that is nicolaybank.com. So, Ryan, good day for some high school softball here. You know, 2 weeks ago, didn't really know the trajectory of how this season might play out, but so far you cannot complain. I'm going to say 70 plus here. Good day at Ripple Creek Park. Martini in there for a called strike. It's 1-1 now here. Again, 5-0 your score on our Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here with 1 out. And the number 8 hitter here in Kira Konen. Martini's pitch, that one is swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. So Pacelli, they'll have some. We'll have DC Everest again in a couple weeks. Thursday, the 9th, and then they'll have a day with Mosinee. So, and a swing and a miss, and down on strikes is Conan, the second out here, the 8th punch out here today for your senior Amelia Martini, and that'll bring up the center fielder here, number 9, hitting Kaylin Green. That one going to get fouled and out of play, right near the water tower here in Port Edwards. So Martini, unblemished thus, or not a single blemish, Ryan. Certainly don't want to jinx anybody, but again, 5-0 lead here, bottom half of inning number 3. No hits surrendered here thus far with 8 punch outs. And working with a 1-1 count here now to Kaylin Green. The 1-1 offering. That one just missed, so it's going to go 2-1 now. The 5:15 train rolling through, Ryan, right there. He would agree, he says. That one's going to miss downstairs. It's 3-1 now, so hitters count coming up now to Green. It's Pacelli, as we mentioned here a few times, with that 5-0 lead here. 2 away here in the bottom half of inning number 3. Martini working 3-1. That one is in there for a called strike, so it's going to go full now. Full count here to Green. Pacelli boys will start their season next Monday at home with Wild Rose. Pacelli girls, as we mentioned, they'll have a home date with Wild Rose and a 2-out walk given up here. So Green will reach on the 2-out walk. And back to the top of the order here. That's Aaliyah Ostrom here. She is 0 for 1 here today, with Green aboard at first here for the Blackhawks. First runner to reach here. That one's going to miss downstairs. Moves to 1-0 now to Ostrom. Martini's 1-0 pitch. Throw down to second, and that one's not going to be there. So that will be a stolen base for Green. So she'll be in scoring position now. 2-0 here now to Ostrom. Again, bottom half inning number 3 here out at Ripple Creek Park here in Port Edwards. Pacelli with that 5-0 early lead here. Well, I guess I wouldn't say it's that early, Ryan. We're starting to clip along here as we're in the bottom half of the 3rd. And a called strike in there. It's 2-1 now to Ostrom. Martini's 2-1 pitch. And that one in there for a called strike. It's even at 2-2 now. The 2-2. And that one is in there for a called strike. And the 3rd out here. So Port Edwards does get a base runner, a runner left on here. No runs, no hits, runner left here. We are through 3 innings of work here. It is 5-0 here. Stevens Point. Pacelli will move to the top half of inning number 4. You are listening to and watching high school girls softball here today in Zaleski Sports, brought to you today in part from the Off Favor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back here. I want to give thanks here to Home Furniture. Home Furniture, fill your home with the best from Home Furniture. Sofas, sectionals, beds, recliners, lighting, tables, rugs, and so much more. Home Furniture with locations on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and on Post Road in Plover here. So we're moving right along here. Top half of inning number 4 here. Pacelli with the 5-0 lead here on the heels of 9 strikeouts here today for Amelia Martini. Has a 2-run blast as well to help her own cause here. And for Pacelli, will have 3, 4, and 5 coming up here with Caden Nelson, Amelia Martini, and Ella Van Order. Caden Nelson here 1 for 2 this afternoon. Singled and scored a run back in the first and then flew out to center back in the second here. So her third at bat here this afternoon. Conan out for her 4th inning of work. Nelson, another one of those seniors here, had a very good year last year. Was all-conference last year as well. Both Ava Tess, Caden Nelson, and Maddie Pionic on that second team. And then, of course, Peyton Mansell, Amelia Martini, Kaylin Yenter, and Katie Ilka, part of that first team. And honorable mention last year, Ella Van Order. So that that all-conference list full of Pacelli Cardinals last season, looking to continue that momentum going here. It's 1-1 now to Nelson. That one, they've gotten a piece of that. It's going to go 1-2 now to Nelson. Caden, dad Drew, the head football coach here at Stevens Point Pacelli, in his well over 100 games coach for Coach Drew. Becoming a bit of a legend himself, we'd say. Of course, her brother Max just finished his junior basketball season for the Cardinals here. Had a pretty nice season as well here. So Nelson pushes the count now full. And it's 5-0 here, top half of inning number 4. Nelson 1 for 2, as we mentioned here today. Conan's, that one hit on the ground. And going to be fielded for the first out. So Nelson retired. And that'll bring up Amelia Martini, who is 1 for 1 here today. Had a 2-run home run back in the first. 2 RBI, the bomb there, scored the run, and then hit by pitch back in the second here. So her 3rd plate appearance here today. 1 for 1. Starting to see a little bit of that sun here. That one hit on the ground. That's going to be a base hit. So Martini, her 2nd hit here today. That 1-out single for Amelia, and that'll bring up Ella Van Order, who is 0 for 2 here today. Reached on an E5 and scored a run back in the first. Grounded to short back in the second. That one's going to miss. So it's going to go 1-0 to Van Order. And as we mentioned, Ella, part of that all-conference honorable mention last season here on the softball diamond. That one misses it. It's 2-0 now here again. Top half of the 4th here. Pacelli with that 5-0 lead. Conan working 2-0 here. That one ripped in for a base hit. So Van Order with a 1-out single. So a couple of consecutive hits. 1 out here, and that'll bring up Haley Krzyzewski. As she is 2 for 2 here today with a double, a run scored. At least I was scoring that a double, Ryan. I mean, a ball was hit hard enough. That ball hit to short. It'd be a tough play. And it's going to load things up here. That'll bring up Peyton Zdroik, who is and that one going to come across. So the 6 runs scored here. So it's Droik with another RBI. That's her second RBI here today. Ball punched foul. That's push things here now to 0-1 to Vivian Berna. Reached on an air back in the first, had the fielder's choice, the 4-6 back in the third. Working 0-1 here with one out, and that one lifted out to center. Should be plenty of real estate to drive the run in. The seventh run coming in here to score, that's Van Order. So 2 away now here at 7-0 your score on our Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here. Throw it on to third. Both runners will swipe bags there. So Hinker 1 for 2 here today. She reached on an E6 back in the first, had the single back in the third. That one's going to miss down though. A couple of runners in scoring position now for Charlie with that, adding to that lead now, 7-0 on your Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here. Top half of inning number 4. That one going to get fouled and out of play here. It's going to go 1-1 now. Beg your pardon, it's 2-1. To Hinker again, who that solid single back in the third. And that one's going to get down. That's going to score, should score both runs, and it will. So 2 RBI single there for Hinker, her second hit of the afternoon. Back to the top of the order here in Ella Tess here. She was hit by a pitch in her last plate appearance. Grounded into the 1-3 back. Prior to that, that one hit out to left and caught. And that will retire Tess for the third out here, but not before Pacelli comes away with 4 runs here now to extend their lead here 9-0. We're through 3.5 innings of play. We'll move to the bottom half of inning number 4. You're listening to and watching high school girls softball action here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoffavor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back. Hey, want to give thanks here today to Valley Communities Credit Union. For 90 years, Valley Communities Credit Union has been part of your hometown team, local, trusted, strong. Valley Communities Credit Union, where community comes first. Federally insured by NCUA, that is Valley Communities Credit Union here. So Port Edwards up in their half of inning number 4 here. You've got 2, 3, and 4 coming up here for Port Edwards. And Amelia Martini out for her 4th inning of work here. Shelley now with that 9-0 lead here. And that's Valeria Hernandez 0 for 1 here today. Struck out back in the first. And bunt offered, and that's going to You strike one, it's 0-1 now to Hernandez. Martini with the 9 punch-outs here, just the 1 base on ball here through 3+ innings of work. And a swing and a miss to Hernandez, quickly up in the count now, 0-2. So 9-0 here in favor of the Cardinals here. Stevens Point, Pacelli. And a swing and a miss. And that is the 10th strikeout here this afternoon for Martini. 1 away now for Talon McDonald, 0-for-1 here. With a strikeout back in the first. That one in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, that one swatted out of play and foul. Souvenir for someone. Or perhaps you return, though. I know a lot of games I've done, at least more so on the baseball side. Those are good for tokens in the concession stands many times. Either way, it's 0-2 now to McDonald. The 0-2 offering for Martini. That one poked foul. Just out of the outstretched arms there of head coach Drew Nelson, one of the spectators over there we can see in our Zaleski Sports fan cam maybe. Just out of his reach, though. It's 0-2 now here to McDonald. Martini, again, as we mentioned here, working with 10 punch-outs. That one rolled foul there. So 9-0 your score here out on the Nasonville Dairy scoreboard. The 0-2 pitch here to McDonald. Fastball misses high. It's 1-2. Brianna Ingram would be the on-deck hitter here for Port Edwards. 1-2 pitch. That one just missed. It's going to go even at 2-2. That one fouled out of play, so hanging in there in the count is McDonald. It's going to remain even at 2-2. And as we mentioned, Port Edwards back home Thursday here, where they will host Almond Bancroft, another very good softball team in this conference here. And on the ground over to second, Hinker gets there and will. And he called safe. Looks like we'll see. So McDonald reaches. I think that will be scored. Have to think that'll probably be scored an error, Ryan, I would think. Guess I'm not technically the official scorer, but that's how I would score it. So it's 9-0 here. 1 out here with a runner aboard here, and McDonald and Ingram up. That one misses upstairs. It's 1-0. Martini's 1-0 offering that. Will miss now, and it's going to go to 2-0 now to Ingram. Lifted, playable. And the play made out and left for the second out. So 2 down now. That was Ella Tess there to retire Ingram here. So 2 outs now, and the second baseman, number 5, hitting Emery Heckendorf, who's 0 for 1 here today with a strikeout back in the second. McDonald remains at first. Martini fastball in there, it's 0-1. So the 0-1 offering here from Martini to Heckendorf. And a called strike, snap throw back down. Good throw there by Van Order to keep McDonald there at bay here. So it's 0-2 now with 2 away, 9-0 your score here. Bottom half of inning number 4. The 0-2 pitch here from Martini is hit on the ground to short, and they'll get the force. The 6-4 fielder's choice here. So no runs, no hits. Runs a runner left on base here. We are through 4 innings complete here. We'll move to top half of inning number 5 here again. Pacelli out front here, 9-0. You're listening to and watching high school girls softball here today on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by La Favor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back here, top half of inning number 5 here. Pacelli with that 9-0 lead here out on our Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here today. Want to give thanks here today also to Stevens Point Orthopedics. Stevens Point Orthopedics is proud to provide complimentary sports physicals to Central Wisconsin athletes. Call 715-344-0701 to schedule your appointment. That's 715-344-0701 here. So Pacelli will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up here, and that is Jaden Zdroik, who is 1 for 3 here today. Singled, stole a base, and scored a run back in the first, and a couple of flyouts since that time. So, and Kira Conan out for her 5th inning of work. That one hit on the ground. That's going to go foul. So it's going to move the count now to 0-2. Again, your Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here showing Pacelli 9, Port Edward 0 here. Top half of the 5th. I know that we were having a little bit of issue with our scoreboard here, so I'll say the score several times here. You might wonder why this Brandon guy is saying the score so many times. That's why. It's 1-2 now to Zdroik. That one's going to miss downstairs. Count moves even now at 2-2. So again, Zdroik 1 for 3 this afternoon. Shelley with the 9 hits here and the 9 runs. That one's going to miss. Count goes full now. So it's 3-2, nobody away with Zdroik, followed by Caden Nelson and Amelia Martini. Cardinals half of inning number 5. That one lifted into the air. Coming in to make the play and the fly out there. So the F8 to retire Jaden Stroik for out number 1 here. And that'll bring up senior right fielder Caden Nelson. She is 1 for 3 as well. Singled, scored a run back in the first, flew out to center back in the second, and had the unassisted ground out over to first back in the fourth. So Pacelli with 5 runs in the first and then the 4 runs back in the fourth here. So Conan, for the most part, been very efficient. I don't have her for any base on balls or any walks generated thus far. So certainly pitching to contact here to a very good Pacelli team. That one misses down low, and it's going to go 3-0 now to Nelson. The 3-0 to Nelson. That one is in there for a called strike. Taken all the way. Hitters count here, 3-1 now to Nelson. Conan's 3-1 pitch. The base on ball given up to Nelson. So 1 out walk. That'll bring up the senior cleanup hitter here in Amelia Martini, who is 2 for 2 here today. A 2-run homer back in the first, hit by pitch back in the second, and then singled back in the fourth with a couple of runs scored as well here. So 1 away for Martini here with Nelson at first. That one's going to miss down low. The senior there, and Nelson able to get second, so she's in scoring position now. The 1-0 pitch. That one is in there for a called strike to Martini. So it's going to be 1-1 now. Martini out front on that one, so it's 1-2 now. Nelson will swipe third. Conan's 1-2 pitch. That one's going to miss up. It's 2-2 now. So Nelson over there at third represents what would be run number 10 for the Cardinals. With 1 out here and the 2-2 offering from Conan. That one and Martini will reach on that. So now runners at the corner here, and senior Ella Van Order coming up. Singled and scored a run back in the fourth. Grounded to short back in the second, then reached on an air 5 on an E5 back in the first with a run scored here. So 1 for 3 this afternoon for Ella. Van Order here hitting with runners at the corner, 1 away. That one fouled and play made there for the second out. So Van Order retired here. That'll bring up Haley Shashevsky, who is a couple of hits here today, couple runs scored as well. 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Shashevsky lines that one. That ball charge put into that one, but just out of a play there. That one probably Ryan would have been the second home run of the afternoon here for the Cardinals if that would have stayed fair. That ball certainly a charge put into that one. So it's 0-1 now to Shashevsky. Runners at the corner. That one able to check her swing there. So it's going to go to 1-1. You got Nelson down at third. Martini at first here. And a base hit. That'll drive in a run, as Nelson will come across to score. So Krzyzewski with her third hit here today. And that'll bring up Peyton Zdroik. She did got a couple RBIs here today for Peyton. A run scored and a stolen base as well here. So Pacelli now out front here, 10-0 on your Nasonville Dairy scoreboard here with 2 away. The 1-0 pitch goes to 2-0 now to Zdroik, Peyton Zdroik that is. That ball lined in, that's a base hit. So Zdroik will, her third RBI here today for Zdroik. So now you've got runners at second and third now with 2 away. The RBI single there for Peyton Zdroik. That'll bring up the third baseman here in Vivian Berna. And an RBI sac fly in her last at-bat. That one misses. It's 1-0. Hit into a fielder's choice, 4-6 back in the third. And then reached on an E5 back in inning number 1 here. So grounded over to third. And Berna will be retired on the 5-3 putout here. So we will move to the bottom half of inning number 5 here. Pacelli tacks on another 2. Scoreboard now reading 11-0. Bottom of the 5th coming up here. You're listening to and watching high school girls softball action here today on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you today in part from the Hoffavor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back here. Bottom half of inning number 5 coming up here. You've got 6, 7, and 8 coming up here for the Blackhawks. Evie Fletcher, Brooke Altman, and Kira Conan, the scheduled hitters here for Port Edwards. Amelia Martini out for her 5th inning of work. She's only had 2 runners reach base here. One by way of a walk and then an error, so that ball going to be fouled back and out of play for Fletcher. It's 0-1. Amelia with 10 strikeouts here today. And that one is swing and a miss. It's 0-2 now to Fletcher. And that one fouled back, so Fletcher able to stay alive here. It's 0-2. Bottom half of inning number 5 here. Pacelli again with that 11-0 lead here. Just the 2 base runners for Port Edwards, one by way of a walk and then a one that reached on an air. That one just missed. It's going to move the count now to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch here from Martini. Hit on the ground to third. And the play is made there, so the 5-3 ground out here for the first out. In this bottom half of inning number 5, that'll bring up number 7 hitting Brooke Altman, who's 0 for 1 here today with a strikeout. So that was Berna to make the play there. That one pushed out of play and foul. It's 0-1. Pacelli looking to try to close this one down here in this half of inning number 5 with that 11-0 lead here. Port Edwards looking to try to extend things here. The 0-1 pitch here to Altman. That one fouled back, and it's going to go 0-2 now. The 0-2 here from Martini to Altman. Hit on the ground over to Amelia. She'll take it. And the 1-3 ground out here for out number 2 here. And that'll bring up Kira Conan here, who is 0 for 1 here this afternoon with a strikeout. So that one in there for a called strike. It's 0-1 now to Conan. 2 outs here, bottom half of inning number 5. Again, Pacelli with that 11-0 lead here, looking to try to close the door here in the bottom half of the 5th here with a run differential here in place. That one will just miss the off speed here. It's going to move now to 1-1. Martini's 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And it's now 1-2. And down on strikes, and that's the 3rd and final out here. So that will be a final here, 11-0 here. We'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Coming up next is a Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. Hopefully get a few words here with head coach Ann Molsky and our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player here in just a few moments. Again, you've been listening to and watching high school girls softball action here today on Zaleski Sports. A final out here today in Port Edwards out at Ripple Creek Park, 11-0 Stevens Point Pacelli. And again, by my math, Amelia Martina with a no-hitter with the 11 strikeouts here today. And we'll bring it right back here in just a few moments with our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. All right, we are back here. Head coach Ann Molsky. First of all,
Yes.
congratulations. You guys
Thank you.
start out the season 1-0. Conference game, no doubt. Certainly we'll get a few words here with our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player. But, Coach, talk about this season. You guys graduated some very, very good players, obviously, the likes of Peyton Mansell, Kaylin Yender, Katie Ilka, just to name a few. Ava Tess. So many. We could go on and on. But let's talk a little bit about this version of this squad here coming up.
You know, I've been telling some other people who remember when those 4 girls you just mentioned were the freshmen, and we just graduated a whole bunch of really nice seniors. And we're kind of in that situation. We've got some really good ball players. We have to put them into places that are going to benefit the Pacelli team. They play a number of different positions in their travel teams or wherever. And so now we're just kind of putting those pieces together. We had some really nice hitting. Defense looked okay. We have a couple of things we're going to work on. But, you know, it's our first game. This third day. This is actually the first day that's actually nice to play outside.
Yeah.
It wasn't cold. No one's got stocking caps on. So, you know, being out on the dirt and the sand is fun.
Yeah.
I told our young ladies, I said, this is a building. We're going to take a look and tweak things around, and Mother's Day weekend is when we're going to have everything set. So we have a whole month of April to double check and make sure we're putting things together where we want them to be.
Well, and Coach, I know you'll just do that, you and your coaching staff. I mean, you know, you think Pacelli softball, you think excellence. I mean, this goes back years and years,
Yes.
and I think that's a
90s.
testament to you, to the program, really, and certainly, you know, we see the cupboard just being restocked every year, Coach. You know, what can we expect over the next? Because you guys are idle now, I think, till next Monday.
Yeah, we go Monday and then we play. You know, the biggest thing is, you know, when you have a program and a tradition that we have, there's always those girls who practice right alongside the other girls, and they're just waiting for their chance. And now this is their chance. And so you're going to find that we're going to have girls in some positions that, well, I thought she was playing here. Well, nothing is set yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue to work and find those things. Our hitting, I think, is going to be great because we spend a lot of time hitting. And we like to hit. That's the thing. And we'll keep working our defense, and we'll roll that together.
I'm sure of that, Coach. And Coach, I mean, just an exciting team. You know, another version. I think a lot to look forward here.
Yes.
Anything more? Because I know, Amelia, you had the 11 strikeouts. You had the 2-run home run. You had the no-hitter by my math. I know only 2 base runners reached by my math. But anything more before we get it over to our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player here?
You know, just keep watching, and it's going to be fun this year. We're really looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun, Coach.
Yeah,
Fist
thank
bump.
you. Yeah.
Yes. We can never leave without doing a couple fist bumps here. Amelia, first of all, just an utterly dominant performance. I know, you know, you were co-player of the year last year along with Peyton Mansell, and, you know, some big shoes to be really that true number one, I would say. Talk about a game like today. Obviously a very nice game for some softball here. You know, just 2 weeks ago we had 20 inches of snow. It's just so good to be back out here. What is your role with this squad here, Amelia?
I think just especially being a senior, to the younger players, I just got to be a leader, try and teach them what our seniors taught me. Like, just pass it on, and I feel like when we explain things to them in depth and make them feel more comfortable, we all mesh way better together.
And you really do, and you know, you bring up a good point here as far as just like carrying that torch. You know, we've seen so many good players come through this program, you know, really going back as long as you can go back as far as Pacelli softball would really go. But, you know, I think that's the one testament to this program is you see that torch being carried from one team and one player to the next. What do you look for in your season, your senior season here, Amelia?
I really just want to try and have fun and soak it all in and enjoy it with my best friends. I mean, this is the last time I get to wear this uniform, so I want to cherish it, but I want to be dominant and I want to win. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and we're going to practice very hard every day.
Oh, I love it. I love it, Amelia. Anything else before we get you into our Zaleski Sports Highlight House? You probably know the drill, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay. Anything more you want to add?
Go Cards! Oh, and happy birthday to my best friend, Maddie Pionic.
Oh, it's Maddie's birthday. All right. Good to know him. So Maddie Pionic. All right. Well, Amelia, I know you know the drill, so I'll go 3, 2, 1. I'll get out of the way. I'll give you the mic. I'll have you look right over there and say your name and that you're in the house. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
My name's Amelia Martini, and I'm in the house. Thank you.
We got to give you a fist bump, Amelia. Nice job. Nice job, Amelia. That is Amelia Martini, our Zaleski Sports highlight house player here today. Not only did she, obviously we saw the hitting here with that 2-run home run back in the first, but just a dominant performance in the circle here for Amelia with, by my math anyways, no hits surrendered here. I know a couple base runners reached, had the walk and the reach on the air, but Amelia just a dominant performance in the circle here today. I had the 11 punch outs here on the mound as well here. So Pacelli victorious here, as I mentioned, 11-0 out here at Ripple Creek Park here in Port Edwards. Good day for some softball, no doubt. Ryan Rasmussen doing our production. I know we had some technical issues early on, but we were able to get back on track here. So Pacelli, they'll be idle now. They'll be back in action next Monday. They'll be at home with Wild Rose. Pacelli boys baseball will actually, be home as well. So from everybody here from Zaleski Sports, again, a final out here, Pacelli 11 over the Port Edwards Blackhawks here to 0. It's been a very good day for some softball. Hopefully can keep this trajectory of good weather, Ryan. And again, happy birthday to Maddie Pionic. Of course, Maddie out with injury, just such a key, not only a happy birthday, but certainly a very speedy recovery from her injury here. Brandon Berencott here. Have yourselves a very good rest of your Monday night from Zaleski Sports.